Hello, and we are live again for Let's Begin Their series. There was a glitch initially. Let's hope we don't face that glitch anymore. And our everyday game changer, Lela, is joining us in a bit. So stay tuned. And here she is. Or she is not. So we'll wait for her to join. I think it is Instagram glitch or the network error. We wouldn't know because we are not that savvy yet, tech savvy yet. So let's see. And I'm trying to invite Lala. Okay. Um, Lala, do you want me to send you the request? I think I'll send it. Okay.
Lala!
Okay. Hi. Hi. Okay, I think now it's working.
Yeah,
Yay.
we finally joined.
Yes. Hi, everyone. How are you?
I am good, Lala. How are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I've never been live before, so this is pretty new for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for our talk.
I'm so glad you're excited. And I love your background. I love the little plant there.
Thank you. Yeah, it's actually not that small of a plant. It grew very big. So
Mhm. Okay. So, Lala, I did introduce you to our audience. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we start with the whole series?
yeah, sure. Yeah, so sadly I could not hear you before, but yeah, my name is Leila. I am 26 years old and I am living in Germany right now. My
Mm-hmm.
family is originally from Montenegro. If
Mm-hmm.
you're not familiar with that, it's like a part at the Adriatic Sea in Europe. And I moved to Germany when I was 6 years old and studied communication science and politics in Germany, and then did my master's in Glasgow, where I met Tanya. And now I'm working as a policy
The
consultant.
happy accident.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm working as a policy consultant in Berlin.
Mm-hmm. That's lovely. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so let's start with it. What are some of the everyday challenges that you face in your life? Having shared with us that you know you had to move countries at an early age, and that led to different cultures. You were born in different cultures. You had to.
Yeah.
So, what were the everyday challenges that you are facing right now in your life?
Yeah, I think generally something I'm facing is probably something that all immigrant children can relate to, because I had a lot of like identity issues because I felt like I did not really know which culture I belonged to. I had like parts
Mm,
of both in my life, and yeah, so it took me a while to kind of figure out who I am or who I want to be, and yeah, to kind of figure out what values are important to me,
mm,
letting aside what the cultural expectations are. Yeah,
mm, mm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think this you experience that like the outer world is much different than the house you're growing up in, and
Mm-hmm.
so you're faced with this question from an early age on, and I think that the most important question to ask yourself is, why are you the way you are? Like, why are you
Mm-hmm.
behaving in certain ways, and is this who you want to be, kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
Why are you the way you are, and is this how you want to be? So, how did you deal with this question?
I think it's very important to kind of know your interests, what you're interested in, and to figure out what your true values are, like what is important
Mm,
for you personally. And for me personally, I like the most important value for me is freedom, I would say. like the freedom to choose where I want to live, what I want to work, what I want to study. And I think this is a pretty like Western value probably that I adopted. Yeah.
Western values.
Yeah.
Okay. So you shared that because you moved countries and there were different cultures that you grew up into. You had to constantly ask yourself or find your place in the society and ask yourself why are you the way you are and
Mm-hmm.
do you want to be the way you are? And you said that knowing your interests and your values that are true to you is really important. It makes me wonder, Lela, then, the question that you had
Mm-hmm.
for yourself, uh, who, why am I the way I am? What was
Yeah.
the reason behind it, or how did you realize that you are questioning yourself at that point?
I think I realized like a few years ago that I am not really listening to my inner voice or to what I want. And I'm doing a lot of things to just make other people happy and to kind of
Mm,
please other people, may it be your friends or your family, it doesn't really matter. I think so. The most important thing that I did for myself was just asking, what do I want in this moment? Like, do I really want to be in this kind of situation right now
mm,
or not? And just like listening to that inner voice, because I think we all already know by intuition what is right and what is wrong for us. But
mm-hmm,
by growing up, maybe you just unlearn to listen to that voice and you kind of put maybe other people's needs before your own. So,
mm,
yeah, I figured out that I had to unlearn this and to just practice speaking up for myself, or practice saying no sometimes, or
mm,
um, just verbalizing your own needs and wishes. Yeah, just basic things like that.
mm. Verbalizing your own wishes and knowing is this really what you want and practicing and learning how to say no to the situation.
Yeah,
You also mentioned something about that you were placing your family and others before you and your needs.
yeah,
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just realized that I was putting a lot of expectations on myself, because I thought,
Hmm.
me and my mom moved countries when I was very young. So I thought for a very long time, like, okay, it has to be worth it. I have to have the best grades. I have to be the best in school. I have to give like my everything.
Hmm.
And that is also good. It's good to be dedicated and passionate about what you want, but it's also very important to kind of check in with yourself and see
Hmm.
if this is really what you want or if you're pushing too hard. And I think, yeah, mental health is definitely something that should be, you know, um, important to all of us. So,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. So you shared that your everyday challenge has been to understand who you are and why you are the way you are, and if it is
Yeah.
the way you want to continue
Yeah.
to live in, uh,
Yeah.
the way you continue to live. You also mentioned that to answer that question, you also need to know what are your interests and what is more important to
Hmm.
you, and what are your true values
Hmm.
that are very core and essential to
Yeah.
you. And you mentioned freedom in choosing is one of your core values that you realize.
Yeah.
You also mentioned so having to deal with this in the
Hmm.
sense, what what do you do in your everyday life? How are you making sure or overcoming this challenge of being you and finding your place in the society, or staying true to your
Hmm.
values and interests?
I think it's very important to just read a lot. I like to read a lot about all sorts of stuff, like historic books, but also psychological books that kind of explain certain behavioral topics, and also just like listening to yourself. I feel like sometimes I'm just stressed out from work, and I can feel the tension in my body, and I kind of made it a habit, I think, to in these kind of moments when I'm realizing that I'm really stressed out, to just distance myself from everything that I'm doing right now, like putting the laptop and everything away and just taking a moment to just breathe or go out and get some fresh air or work out or do something that's going to be good for you or that will make you feel better, even if you know that maybe you don't want to work out, or I don't know, maybe you don't want to cook, but to kind of still push yourself to do it, because you will feel better after. And to kind of treat yourself like a friend. If a friend of mine, if, like, let's say you're feeling sick and you're stressed out, I would do something to comfort you, and I would be like, oh, Tanya, do you want, I don't know, a tea, or should I bring you a cake, or like, do you want to be, what can I do to make you feel more comfortable? So I think it's very important to kind of do the same things for ourselves as well sometimes. And yeah, so that's what I'm trying on some days. Yeah.
Yeah. So on some days you try to stay in tune with your values and your interests, um, so that you know who you are. You
Hmm.
try to read a lot because also you enjoy reading, but you try to read a lot from, including psychology. And I also remember you're also fond of travel books with a lot of pictures and
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
description,
I
the
love.
descriptive travel books.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. And you also mentioned that it's good to take fresh air, like to just step out and take some fresh air, because walking in the nature is always helpful, or just working out because it
Yeah.
also releases happy hormones. I'm not very sure what those are, but and you also I get confused, so I try not to get into the depth of it. Otherwise, I might just end up sharing something that I'm not supposed to share. So yeah, and the third point you also mentioned was trying to comfort yourself,
Yeah.
and the way you would comfort a friend. So if I was sick, you would ask me if I
Yeah.
want something or what you can do for me.
Yeah.
So that is the same thing that you would want to do for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or also just
Yeah.
check in with a friend as well if you're not feeling
Mm-hmm.
well, or you feel like you need, just some good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check in with a friend and to spend some good time with them.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. In the conversation, Ella, you had also mentioned how you realize that you will have to place your needs before the expectations from others, and also realizing that at one point you were like you wanted to do better and be more passionate
Mm.
and get better grades and do good at everything.
Yeah.
So how were you able to maintain that balance of the expectations, having your own interests aligned, and doing the best in every aspect?
I think I wasn't. That's like the main point, because I felt like it was all too much at some point,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like putting a lot of expectations on myself, and I felt like I'm trying to make everyone around me happy, but that's just exhausting at some point. And I think um, the way it developed was that at some point I realized I cannot make everyone happy around me, and some some decisions that I'm making for myself will be disturbing to some people. So it's better to just kind of prioritize what is really important for you, and
Mm-hmm.
to push through that, like to really follow your decisions, to try to see the bigger picture, like what are your goals in life, what do you want to reach. And there will always be people who are not aligned with that, or who have a different opinion. And yeah, just like try not to listen to them too much and listen to your own self and try.
Mm-hmm.
That's really, really important, and that's like what I would recommend to a friend. Yeah.
Yeah. So you would recommend to a friend to listen to your own inner voice, strengthen your inner voice, to
Yeah.
not get uh, bogged down or weighed down by expectations of others, and to
Yeah.
realize who are the people who are aligned with your values and your kind of thought process, and whether you want
Yeah.
to stay consistent with that or not. And you also mentioned that sometimes doing what you want to do might not be perceived in a very healthy way by others, but to
Yeah.
realize that this is good for you and you
Yeah.
need to do it, and just pushing through it is gets really important. So
Exactly.
if you
Yeah.
and prioritizing, you said, is the most important way of doing that.
Mm.
So what are the other ways you would suggest to the people who, if there is someone over here available, listening to us, and they are also wondering how to prioritize and just push through, even though it is affecting the people around us?
Mm.
So what is it that you did or you do to make sure that there is, what do you do?
I think that's a pretty hard question, because to kind of make your own decisions, you have to be independent, and not everyone is in a privileged situation
Mm.
like this, where you can just be like, oh, I don't care what my parents think, and I will just do whatever the hell I want, because I don't know, they might throw you off. So yeah, but I think it's just important, even if you're in a situation where you feel like you cannot follow your dreams, to check your options. Like, I think there is always different options to educate yourself, or to like, even if you lose a job, for example, you might want to start your own business. There's always a way around it, and um, I think it's important to kind of figure out what these options are for yourself in your situation, and then to make a plan how to reach that goal, like where you are right now and where you could be, and how to kind of fill this gap step by step. Yeah, because
Mm.
it's not going to happen overnight, but like taking small steps to achieve your goal. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
And
To,
like,
mhm.
yeah, and maybe getting to know yourself better by just figuring out what you like, what kind of hobbies you like, if you like painting, or if you like traveling, or if there is a specific movie that you like, and just yeah, enjoying yourself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so beautiful. I mean, the way you mentioned to check your options, because to be able to exercise our freedom, we need to be independent.
Yeah.
Um, and after that, if we are not independent, then there is still some way available for us to check our options. What is
Yeah.
it that we can do right now to educate ourselves? And
Yeah.
there's always an option to, if it is career, there's always an option to start our own business and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just amazing because the moment you said that, check for your options and educate yourself, that is the most important point, I think, because the moment people feel that, okay, I can't do anything and I feel
Mhm.
restricted, they keep focusing on the problem, whereas there
Exactly.
are solutions available, and you
Yeah.
clearly said it's there in the options.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really a mindset thing. If you just have a positive mindset, and like a what is it called? Like adaptable, open mindset. I think we were talking about this
Growth
before.
mindset. There's
Yeah,
like a
growth
fixed
mindset,
mindset.
exactly. Yeah, growth
Mhm.
mindset. If you kind of can establish that, then I think you can overcome almost
Mm.
everything, because there's always options. Even if you feel
Mm.
like you don't have options, there's always options.
Yeah, there's always option, even if we feel that there is no option. And you also mentioned that we need to figure out a way to bridge the gap
Yeah.
between the option that we have and where we are right now, how we can reach those places. And
Yeah.
again, that will include becoming aware of what our options are and educating ourselves about them.
Mm.
Yeah, definitely. And having the growth mindset to, look for these solutions, being adaptable and just not being weighed down by the problems that we are facing. That
Yeah.
makes sense. That's beautiful, Lella. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having
Um,
me.
so, yeah, we are still continuing. We're not done yet. Lala, what is that one thing you would like to tell our audience? Let's begin where?
um, I think I would say begin with asking yourself what you stand for, what your true values are, and begin by asking yourself where you want to be, like what your dream life would look like, or your dream day, and then try to make it a reality. Yeah,
Hmm.
by making a plan or by setting up goals, and yeah, that's what I would say.
That's so beautiful to begin by asking ourselves what is it that we truly want and what does our dream life look like, and
Mhm.
to not stop there but to think about the action plans, how we can actually achieve them and make it a reality, make our
Yeah,
dream life our reality.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that was so beautiful, Lala. Thank you so much for sharing that. And how
Thank you
are
for
you
having.
feeling being on live with us and sharing insights from your life, including us in your personal space?
I think it's a very good experience because I was a bit shy in the beginning, but it's actually like pushing me out of my comfort zone, and it really feels like we're just having a chat on video call. So yeah, it was a good experience. Thanks for making me do it.
I am so glad that you finally agreed to join us in the live and share some beautiful insights from your life. You've taken the courage to show up over here and to even share some personal insights from your life. It's not a very easy task, so congratulations to you.
Oh, thank you.
I am learning a lot from you today over here in this session, especially about knowing your options and making your dream life your reality. I mean,
Mhm.
these are going to be my key takeaways. What is your key takeaway from the session?
My key takeaway is that we should push ourselves more often out of our comfort zone, and it's a really good experience not only to speak here but also to listen to the other Let's Begin There sessions, and I really enjoyed the whole series, and thank you so much for your work, Tanya.
Thank you so much, Stella, for your kind words. It's very sweet of you. I just open up this space for our audience over here. Would anyone like to ask any questions to Lela? Um, or would you like to ask anything to me? Until then, and oh, that's on it. I'm not sure if anyone is typing, so we can never know about it. There should be a way, it should show. Okay, no, it should. There shouldn't be a way that it shouldn't show who's typing, who's not. It can get a little distracting. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you
If,
so much, Shella.
thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much. No, I just wanted to say, like, if questions come up, we can also, I think, clear them later in the comment section.
That's true. That's true. We can do that. So, okay, we will wrap up with that. And thank you so much, Ella, finally.
Thank you so much. Hope you have a lovely day.
You too, Lala. You too.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
You too. Bye.
And bye. I'm not sure how to. Yeah. And for others, if you